Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and we're moving on with yet more witnesses. There's so many to go through and I'm trying to get through them because this trial is never ending. So we move on to Deputy Jason Forgui. He's a deputy at the Orange County Sheriff's Office in the K9 unit. He's been with the K9 unit since 2001. He initially goes through the training of the dogs he's had and how he trained them and what they were trained for. So this is lengthy. They go through all the certificates, what kind of training, how they train. This goes on for a while. So with regards to this case, they received hundreds of tips regarding grave sites, etc. And he and his dog went to a lot of them. And they now show a video of Deputy Forgui and his dog Garris when they located a body. I have a recording of it here. He first became involved in this investigation on the 17th of July 2008 when he was requested to go to the forensic base, which is obviously the car. Jason says the smell was pretty strong in the bay. They pulled the car out of the bay and did it in the lot. And when he took Garris out, they initially did a full sweep of the car with the doors closed. So Garris did start indicating near the trunk area. He then asked the tech to open the driver's door. Once this was open, the dog dove into the car and went straight to the back seat and the trunk area. Then he came back out and Jason then asked the tech to open the trunk. When they got back to the trunk, Garris jumped into the trunk with his front paws and stuck his head right in there. Jason then kept walking around and Garris then gave him an alert that he had been trained to do. Some of the dogs sit, some of the dogs lie down. He also went to the Anthony's home to do a sweep of the backyard as there were some areas of concern. He did a search of the area with Garris. It was done with Garris off his lead because obviously it was fenced in and safe for him to do so. Jason could let him then sweep everywhere. Garris did give a trained alert in the play area where Kaylee's playhouse was. And the specific area Garris gave his final alert was here. Garris was then taken out of the garden. Then another dog was also used called Bones, but another handler did this search and Jason was present. The cross-examination. So even though the dog goes through numerous training, so much training, and you know they are qualified in what they do, there's no actual evidence that a decomposing body or a dead body was even there, which there wasn't. It was just purely the smell. The reason why they took the car out of the forensic bay was because there were other items in there. So there'd be too much interference when Garris was searching the car. There's no video recording of him sweeping the car, and Jason says it's not common practice to record searches. So now Baez brings out the Cadaver Dog Handbook. It's the book Jason uses, and Jason trained under the author of this book, and of course there is a section in the book that says you should record the searches. Jason says that it's purely just a recommendation that the author offers. Baez is right. I don't get why they don't record it, but there's no rule that says it has to be. As Jason says, it's not common practice for them to record the searches. I don't understand why, especially in a case like this. So following the dog's alert in the Anthony's backyard, CSI were brought out to have a look. Jason was not present, but they obviously didn't find anything. He was then asked to come back out again the day after. CSI had been in there, done scrapings of where the dog had alerted to, and the dog didn't alert this time. Then Jason was eventually sent to Suburban Drive, where Kaylee's remains were found. And when Jason went there, he knew that a body had been found. He was called out because there were bones that had been found, and once they'd put everything together, they realised that there was some missing. He didn't find the missing bones. So the redirect. Out of a total of 3,000 searches he has done, very few have been recorded. The one that I showed a clip of, that was only recorded purely based on the fact that the helicopter was there, and because the body was in the water, there was an alligator in the water, and Jason wanted the helicopter to keep an eye on that, otherwise it wouldn't have been recorded. Jason says that the alert Garris gave in the Anthony's backyard was a surface odour, so when the CSIs had done what they had done and he went back the next day, the surface had been disturbed and the odour had gone, and therefore the dog couldn't smell it. This is why we need a recording. If he wrote a report on all the no alert searches, there would be nothing to report. His dog will not alert to trash because he's trained his dog to work around that smell. So recross, he couldn't really say why Garris gave an alert at the Anthony's and then he didn't the next day. He's just basing it on his own experience. So I think that round goes to Byers. So now we move on to the next witness, which is Patrol Supervisor Kristin Brewer. She works at Osceola County Sheriff's Office. Since 2005, she has been an on-call canine officer. So basically, she does her normal duties, but if they need an extra canine officer, she will go. Her canine is Bones. She was called to assist in finding Kaylee. She was called to the Anthony's home on the 17th of July. When she arrived, she met with Jason and he had told her they would be searching the backyard. He showed her before she got Bones out. She was not told by Jason that his dog had alerted the day before. So Kristin took Bones on the lead to the backyard. She took him off the lead and let him search. Obviously, again, it's a fenced-in area. He spent approximately 2 to 4 minutes searching, and there was an area of interest he kept going back to, and he finally gave an alert. So they show the same picture. They showed Jason, and Kristin more or less circles the same area Jason did. Kristin returns the next day, and it was apparent to her that the surface of where the dog alerted had been disturbed as law enforcement had been digging around the area. So she let Bones search, obviously no alerts, and in her opinion, it's the same as Jason's, that the dog didn't alert because the odour had been destroyed or moved. Cross-examination. The dogs can alert to bodily fluid, decomposing fluid that is from a living person. So like if you cut your hand and you drop a drop of blood drops on the floor, the dog can alert to that. So it's not necessarily a dead body thing. So Jason told Kristin that his dog alerted about 6 to 8 feet away from where her dog alerted, whereas they both put the same area. So if it was 6 to 8 feet, there was only one direction that could have been in, and that was near the pool. But Kristin doesn't know in which direction, as Jason never told her. So Byers' point is, if it had gone in one, it wouldn't have been 6 to 8 feet. It would have hit the house, and 6 to 8 feet the other way was to the pool. In the 2 days that Kristin was there, she was never asked to search inside the home, and she doesn't know if any dogs searched inside the home either. So Frustrating at the fact that these dogs alerted to decomposition, but it wasn't recorded. I mean, I'm not saying they're lying, but it would have been great if it had been. Discrepancies in where the dogs alerted, which isn't good. And not searching inside the house. Don't understand why that wasn't done. You know, just to tick off one more box that that house was searched. So, right, I'll be back with more, as you know. Till then, bye for now.